Hey there everybody, this is Mr. Provines again, and this is an embarrassingly fast follow-up from that last video I put out. If you watched it, it was a Pez dispenser that did not actually use the usual Pez methods it used to track, and I've made a much cleaner, prettier version that I can't fully render at once because my computer sucks. But so I'll get right to it. So, as explained in my last video, this uses only powered tracks and a detector on a to just very quickly power these tracks, so they only move one seat forward, essentially allowing you to make a Pez dispenser that only works on tracks. Before I start this, I'd like to point out also I can make these two sets horizontal, so right next to each other, and it would not change the design in any way. You'd simply have to loop the tracks. This version's a little big and unnecessary, but I hope it'll get my point across. So on top of that, I've also put in my my little variable timer clock that doesn't actually use like a redstone clock, and hooked it up to this so you can all see it. It runs really slowly right now because it takes the cart that comes down so long to get back up into the loading position, but it works perfectly every time. So I'll show you guys an example of this. So I'm going to show the wiring first, just because I'm that kind of person. So when this cart is released from its position, it runs over this, runs in the feeder. It's toggled really quickly, and it's sent up to every single track. Yeah, it's quite a bit of wiring because of the size, but I mean, it's really not that bad. It just takes up a bit of horizontal space. Still, this whole concept is pretty cool. I like it. So here we go. So I press it, one goes down, it triggers, and they all move into position, and that goes around and goes back in. And as you can see, because of the size of the tracks, it takes a little while to get back up. Also, because of the nature of this, it's really, if you made it smaller and like next to each other, it'd be absolutely fine to do this, but really because of the size, you shouldn't be putting out more than one cart at a time, because you'll be unable to get back in the next feeder position, and it's always dependent on having one cart in this main seat in order to trigger the pressure plate. I'm sure there's a way around this, but I mean, you could really just have like, yeah, there's a few ways to do it, but they're all kind of silly and somewhat defeat the point of the Pez dispenser. Hit it again, goes down, and hits the next. So that's pretty cool. I'm sure some people play around with this. There's a lot of fun things you can do with it since it sets itself off. I mean, I could have it linked just to the button. I could just press it and make them keep coming, but again, that kind of kills the point. With this, you can, yeah, it kind of feeds into itself. I also was playing around with it, and this track's too long for it, but if you adjust the timing, you can essentially make it so that this cart triggers this, and they keep triggering in like continuous fashion, but just for like a quarter of a second, so it acts as a break, and then it goes. So it gives you a very, very like pulse-esque. But if you mess up, if the timing is too fast on the redstone, they'll all just flow down at once, which I imagine is the issue with having traditional dispensers that only use minecart tracks. This obviously is like, I'd like to say this is obviously not the most efficient way to do it, but for someone who's looking for a redstone only way, or sorry, a powered rail only way, I think it really gets the job done. So I'll show you all now involving the clock. And as I said, the clock is slow, and I really apologize for that. But it does not lag at all, and is 150% automated. Yes, that's a real percentage. You can look it up. It's in a math book somewhere, I swear. May not be a good math book, but it's there. And oh, what do you know? Yeah, I have the timing set up kind of oddly, but every single time it comes across, and they're always load up, and then it triggers the next one, and then they all move into position, and it just keeps going and going and going. So it's not the fastest Pez dispenser for that regard, but as you can see, even with fraps going in my awful computer, I have virtually no lag because of this, and I don't know, it's just a pretty cool thing, and I really hope you guys enjoy it as much as I do. But that being said, that's it for this video. I'm sure I'll do a full tutorial should there be a lot of interest, but it's pretty straightforward, and I'm going to develop this design a lot more, try to do some really cool stuff with it. But in the meantime, everyone have a great evening, and tell your friends. Alright, bye.